Hello, good afternoon. My name is Sarah Gergel, and I work with the Living Archives Project, where we are collecting stories of how COVID 19 impacted various communities in Charlotte Mecklenburg County. Today is April 6, 2023, and this week there were 63 reported cases of COVID 19 in Charlotte Mecklenburg County, which shows a 1% decrease over the last 2 weeks. Therefore, each subject is comfortable not wearing a mask. How would you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Hau Doan. I'm the owner of Bahn Mi Brothers. Born in Vietnam, came to the state when I was 5. Grew up in Virginia most of my life. Moved down to Charlotte in '94. Did the corporate world for a little bit. Did investment, and then in 2016 had a passion for cooking. Took my 401k and opened up Bahn Mi Brothers.
Amazing.
Yes, I am. I'm Asian. I have black hair, brown eyes. Currently wearing a baseball cap with a Bahn Mi Brother logo. It's a black and red theme with a T-shirt as well with the Bahn Mi Brother logo on it.
Cool. You're representing.
Representing, yes.
So you opened up Bahn Mi Brothers when?
So I opened Bahn Mi Brothers up in May 4th. May the 4th be with you. On 2017.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So this May 4th coming up will be 6 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
6 years. So tell me about that experience. What got you into cooking and opening up your own restaurant and entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So, immigrant kids, comes to the United States, parents want you to get the college degree. And I did that. I got a college degree. When I was in college, though, I always craving mom's cooking. So I would call home and like, hey, mom, how do you make this dish? How do you make that dish? And she got mad. I bought a meal plan for you for a reason. Use a meal plan, stop cooking, study. I want you to study, stop calling home for this. But still, she'll give me the recipe. And that's where the cooking passion got ignited. I love cooking for my friends on the weekends, have everybody come over, cook this dish and that dish, because we were in a small town. So we didn't have a lot of Vietnamese or a lot of Vietnamese food that I was craving. And I joined the Vietnamese Student Association, got a lot of friends, and we're just sitting around cooking and trying to learn and stuff like that. I got a degree in finance, moved down to Charlotte where mom and dad's at.
Okay.
And did the Charlotte's very big in banking. So did investment for a while. Did it for 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. More than that. Or for a couple banks. But yeah, I think 18 to 20 years. But on the weekends, I was always cook for my friends. When we watched footballs, come over, I cook. And then 2016, that urge to cook just took over. And I enjoy the corporate world. I enjoy helping my customer do investment and stuff like that. But that passion just took over, and then took my 401k. Didn't tell mom and dad that I was opening the shop. And then 3 months before I opened the shop, I was like, mom and dad, sit down and tell you something. They're like, what? I'm like, I didn't have the heart to tell them I quit. So I told them I got laid off.
Oh my God.
And they're like, what? Can you get your job back? I'm like, no, it's too late. Oh, by the way, I'm opening a restaurant. The heart just died. They're like, we didn't bring you to America to go work in the kitchen. But they didn't, they're back in Vietnam, being in the kitchen is a hard work. Yes. They don't know there's a passion for it. Yeah. And they come to realize it now that I have a passion for cooking. Put me in the kitchen all day long and I'm happy. Cutting cucumber, cutting this, it's my relax zone. Yeah. Put on some good music, chopping away, and I'm happy. And then the joy I get from my friends and family's face when they eat my food, like, oh my God, this is so good. The joy of seeing that is priceless. Wow. And now I get to do that and interact with the customers, and they're saying how good the food is. It just brings me joy.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just a cliche to say, find a job that you love, you never have to work again. That really resonated for me a few months ago because we're getting busier now. And I had to come in, we have pickled veggies on our banh mi, which makes the banh mi's daikon and carrots that's pickled. And we were running low. And Monday's my day off. And Monday I came in, I was driving, I'm like, I don't mind going to work. It was like, that's when it dawned to me. It was like, I really enjoy my job. I'm coming here on my day off and I don't mind it. But this is also my baby as well. Yeah. But so it's enjoyable. I've been open for going on 6 years. Wow. And going to work is not going to work. I just go to work to cook for my staff and feed them.
That's amazing.
That's what it feels like.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So how did you come up with the name Bahn Mi Brothers?
So I have a younger brother. His name is Loon. We both love banh mi. And when we first opened up, he's more of a silent partner. Me and him have a house together. And so he's stuck with the corporate world. Just in case the shop doesn't work out, we still have money to pay for the house and everything.
Yeah.
But with that, he's more, whenever we have the events and everything that is busy, he'll come out and help. And that's how we have a Bahn Mi Brothers.
Okay, so cool.
Yes.
So what is your favorite dish? Your favorite Vietnamese dish?
My favorite Vietnamese dish, there's so many because Vietnamese have a lot of noodle dishes.
Yeah. Okay.
It ranges like a bún bò Huế. It's a beef noodle dish, kind of like everybody know about pho, but bún bò Huế it's more fragrant. It has more spices in it. It's more of a red broth and all the different types of meat in there. There's shank, there's knuckles, there's pig's blood in there as well.
Okay.
Very hearty noodle, very savory soup. But I love that one, but also love pho. So it's like so hard. I move around.
I mean, that's a really hard question.
Yeah.
I get it. So now, go ahead.
And then banh mi. I love banh mi as well.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, like, we have like 15 types of banh mi at the shop, different variation. We also have one where we do a play off of pho. Instead of the noodle dish, what I do is I cook the broth about 8 hours, reduce it down to gravy, pour that gravy on top of the banh mi with the steak, basil, onion, hoisin sauce, so all the flavor of pho, entire banh mi. And so we have all those different types.
So creative.
Yes. I was cooking that for my friends for Super Bowl one year, and it turned out really good. It's like, I'm gonna have to put this on the menu.
Yeah.
But with all the dishes though, with all the banh mi, I always lean back to the original one, the one you'll find all over Vietnam. That's the one. It's a little more adventurous, but that's the one. That's the classic. Has pate, head cheese, and Vietnamese ham. That's your OG. Oh, that's OG. It's good for a reason. Yeah. Yep.
So would you say out of all the dishes, I know this is again a hard question, but on your menu, would you say that is the dish that you love the most?
Yes, that's the one that I eat the most. My staff eats the most. It's just the original. Yeah.
Oh,
and my mama's egg rolls too as well.
I bet. I haven't tried that one yet. So one day I'll have to try that.
You have to try mama's egg roll.
I haven't tried that or that original banh mi.
Yes, you have to come by and try those.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me, how was it being a small business owner, a restaurant owner, and then COVID happened?
So yeah.
Tell me about that process.
When I first heard about COVID, my aunts were in Vietnam. My mom's parents were telling them they got to come back because everything's gonna be locked down. And my mom worries a lot, so I'm like, Mom, don't worry. It's nothing. It's not even big. It's big. And then boom, it really hit. Like everything was shut down. And then we had the note on that Friday. I forgot what day was that Friday. Everything's gonna be shut down, and only essential restaurants, stuff like that, were open. Fortunately, we just did food, and so we were able to stay open. But that Friday, it really hit me. Like sales was like we had like $200 in sales that day, and I was like, whoo. And then that weekend was totally dead. It was scary. It was scary. I put my 401k, all of my money into the shop.
Your entire life savings in the shop.
So it was, I'm very optimistic, but I'm like, whew, this is going to be interesting. So that weekend passed, and I started getting worried. We had like 2-3 staff with me that work. We didn't need that many because we weren't that busy. So 2-3 weeks in, it was getting slow. But then all of a sudden, I think everybody got comfortable with it, and we're doing banh mi, so it's easy, quick and easy, nothing hard, and it started picking back up. We didn't let anybody in the shop, which felt really weird.
Yeah.
But we only let people order online or give us a call to place an order, and then they'll come knock on the door. Your name, Mike? Okay, here you go, Mike. Just like you the food out, and it worked. So slowly it started building back up. Very fortunate for that. I know a lot of shops around me that didn't make it, but it took off. Sales were getting back. It was enough to survive. It was insane because a lot of staff lost weight during that time because we locked the door, so we had to walk to the door open, come back in, then walk back.
Stop it! I love that.
We walked so much. It was like back and forth, walking.
That's
like
amazing. That's just hilarious.
Yeah.
That whoa.
Yeah. So a lot of people staying home, not having their activities.
Yeah.
We're like walking back and forth.
You guys were like running marathons.
Yep.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with that, and then that was a very interesting time. And then with that too, I have a lot of college students.
Okay.
and they would go out, and I was like, oh, I might have met somebody. This is towards the more into I went out last night. I met him, got in contact, so they can't work, and then we already, it's hard to deal with staffing already, and then okay, you guys are young, but stop going out.
Yeah.
Stay home. So that was hard to juggle with staffing because the kids still want to go out and do stuff. And no, y'all need to stay at home.
Did that mean you had to be there more often?
But yeah, so I was there more often. But we worked it out. And then when the restriction was lifted, we put glass paneling, I think most places, in front of the register on the side. So when a customer comes in, they used to talk through a glass paneling that because I didn't want to risk the staff to getting sick as well. So we had that for a while in the shop. Had a little intercom system where they talk through and we can hear on the side. So we did that, but fortunately we picked up, and it actually sounds bad, but the COVID actually helped us out a little bit because we got the PPE money to help us out.
Yeah.
That helped out a lot. But also my rent was going to be due. Well, not due, but I have to renew my rent soon for another 5 years.
Okay.
So they gave out a thing. Hey, if you're willing to sign a contract for 3 more, extend your contract for 3 years, we'll give you 2 months free rent. I'm like, okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
But since I had to renew for 5, I'm like, can I get Can I get 3 months rent if I extend it for 5 years?
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. So give it three months rent.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then we'll rent at commercial places. They raise your rent by $1 per square feet each year. They say for the next 5 years we're not going to raise your rent. So I was like, it was a win-win situation.
Yes.
Yeah. So been very fortunate that COVID was bad, but with COVID I was at 3 months rent and save money on rent in the next 5 years coming out. So been very fortunate. Very fortunate with everything. Staff was really good. Besides hanging out, but staff was really good. They were willing to come help, and like I said, one of my things was gratitude, and I'm very grateful for coming out now.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
So now that we're, of course, COVID still impacts us in various ways, but the restrictions have been pretty much lifted. How has that been for your business?
It's been really good. Business is busier than our peak time before COVID hit. So it's been really good. A lot of the customers are very, very good customers. They're supporting me during COVID, and now they're back. They're loving to come in the shop, and they love this that we made it through. So very fortunate to have very loyal customers that were through it during COVID and now as well. And we also have a very big vegan community as well.
Okay.
And the vegan community, 40% of my customers are vegan.
No way.
Yeah. And during COVID too as well, the support from the vegan community has been awesome.
That's amazing.
They really helped me survive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you offer a large vegan?
We do now, yeah.
Do you now?
We first only had one item, but then the community has been so helpful in that. So I created new dishes for the customers as well, and be more mindful of cross contamination. We have a separate fryer for the meat item and the non-meat item. So just trying to be more mindful.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Man. So before we started the interview, we did this activity together called a hand map.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything from your hand map that you would like to share with us?
Oh, with my hand map, a lot. Gratitude. I'm very grateful. A little emotional. That we made it through.
Yeah.
With everybody helping mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Because when COVID hit, we were I didn't take it too seriously, but was worried about it. But me and my parents, we always live life to not worry too much and just take it with stride. And that's how it was. And we made it through. So with this, just very grateful.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I'm so glad too.
Yeah. Yep. And with COVID too, become very adaptable. Not only running the shop, but understanding, okay, you can't make it work, you can't make it work. Yeah. We don't have enough, this supplies coming in, this supply. So it's just learn how to be very adaptive. Yes. So that helped a lot. Not just being a regular restaurant role, but being adapted through the whole world with supply chain being shorted and just having stuff pop up out of nowhere. I can't make it work, or we don't have any more of this, and it's just it was a different world. Yeah. So I think I came out here more resilient, understanding more. So this, like you said earlier, sometimes we have to pause and then think back, and then by pausing, think back, and say, "Dang, we made it. We went through all this and still survived and didn't give up." And so very, very happy.
I mean, how like you probably went through the record hardest season for restaurants ever.
Yeah.
And you were a relatively new restaurant. You were only open for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you made it. And you came out stronger. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that really goes to speak to who you are as the restaurant owner, and just the way that you were adapting for your staff and for your customers and for yourself. And that's amazing. Truly.
Yeah.
Truly amazing. So round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So tell me a little bit about your personal life. How are you? I mean, it's kind of hard, right? Because as an entrepreneur, your personal life is kind of ingrained in your work life.
Yes.
But tell me,
what personal life? Personal life, you mean during COVID or?
The last 3 years.
Yeah. It was insane. Well, for everybody, Zoom. I actually got to connect with back with my high school friends. We had one friend that lives in New York, Virginia Beach, and then Northern Virginia. So once a month, we'll get together and just go on Zoom and just chit chat. And
so cool.
And it's a really nice thing because we haven't connected in a while, and having that time to sit there and just connect with everybody. And I had a photo album that I brought. I was like, "You guys remember this? Remember that?" So it was really nice to connect with everybody, and because of that, we've gotten really closer. We've had some trips together. I was just up in North Virginia visiting all of them a few months back, and it was just like we never left high school. Yeah. We just kicked it back up and just chit chat again. And then with my close friends here as well, we couldn't go see each other, so we got on Zoom, and it was just nice. It was a different way of hanging out, but it was nice. You didn't have to drive anywhere. You'd be done and just go to your room. You're done. But it was good times. Did that. We always have dinner with my parents on Mondays, and so we still went out there to have dinner with them on Mondays.
You and your brother.
Yeah, me and my brother.
Okay.
But yeah, that was very interesting with COVID, connecting everybody with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you didn't mention that you had family back in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
So luckily, my aunt caught the plane just in time for the last flight out there. Okay. But Vietnam, it was really bad. It's a communist country, so they actually lock whole streets down because there's a lot of alleyways. So they'll actually fence off the alleyways so nobody can leave. Wow. They were very, very restrictive. Yeah. And they'll bring food over to them, or people can order food, but they were really hard. You couldn't go anywhere. No reason to act off. They actually had people like security guard blocking you from even doing anything.
For how long?
For a while. People were getting upset and stuff like that. And we just hearing stories like, people don't have food, and so we're trying to find a way to send some money back to help them with food and getting food, because it was hard. Sometimes nobody would come to give them food, so it was very, very interesting.
I can't imagine. Do you still have a lot of family back?
Not much anymore. Most of them came over already.
Okay.
But yeah, just hearing stories about other great aunts or any further cousin down.
Distant family, for sure. Man.
We take it for granted being in the United States, where we have freedom. Nobody's going to sit at your door and lock you up and say you cannot leave. They can do whatever over there, but we're fortunate to if we need to go to the grocery store, we still can here, but over there, nowhere. So we take it for granted sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with you. We definitely. I feel like sometimes that pause with COVID put a lot of things in perspective. We do take a lot of things for granted that we don't realize.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you gained over the last 3 years other than gratitude, which is amazing and beautiful for sure?
Don't stress out. said stuff that you can't control. And I had a roommate that was freaking out, didn't want to. He was very stressed. I'll come home and he'll be avoiding me. He's like, take a shower, throw your clothes off, don't come near me.
Yeah.
He was very stressed out. For like 2 weeks, he didn't even speak to my brother, and both of them were home. And my brother's like, something's wrong. And it was just him slowly freaking out inside his head. He wouldn't watch the news anymore. And he's, I guess maybe he grew up a little different than us. He, I mean, his growing up a little harder. But for me, my brother, and my family, we try to take it in stride. We're not super religious, but we just, think things that if you do good things gonna happen. Just so me and my brother's like, we were more relaxed, and then he's like, why are you guys so relaxed? I was like, it's a hut. We have no control over this.
Yeah.
You can sit here and be freaking out and not talk to anybody and just slowly going crazy with yourself, or just live it.
Yeah.
Just live it every day and see what happens. You can't sit there and afraid what's gonna happen around the corner.
Yeah.
When I was in investment, customers were saying, I worry about this, I worry about that. It's like, yes, true. You go out of your house and a meteorite's gonna hit you, but the chance of that's gonna happen is very low. And he would hear too. I was like, Hut, we have no control of what's going on. Let's just live our life. And he said, how come you guys are not worried? And I was like, that's where we are. We're not gonna sit here and freak out. We're still gonna have fun, just live our life. And so with COVID just taught me to just can't stress over it stuff. You have no control over it. Just continue with it.
Very true, wise words.
Yeah. And that's why I'm very, very calm. That's like the staff's like, you don't ever get mad or you don't get frustrated. I have a look on my face. I just look at it. They know I'm pondering something or slowly stressing about, but it's just stuff you can't control. Just take the next step. Take the next step. Yeah. And that's another thing too. I was talking long a while back too. It's like when you have a situation that's very daunting or very hard, you get stuck. And like, what am I gonna do next? Pause and just find what is the next step to do. Right in front of you. Just take one step. You don't have to look all the way down. Just take that one next step and you'll be all right.
Yeah. So true. So true. How about your community here in Charlotte? Is there a large Vietnamese community?
The community is growing. When I first moved down here, it wasn't that much, but the Vietnamese community is growing bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
And then with COVID too, after COVID, we have a lot of elderly parents or elderly people that weren't able to go out and stuff like that. So me and Long, we and another family, Anna Pham, we created a charity called Sunflower. Yes, Sunflower. Yes, and we would like cook food and on the weekends go deliver to a couple of the elderly people. Some people had cancer, they couldn't get about, or bring a bag of rice and stuff like that. So we were trying to be, and that's you brought that so good because of COVID. We thought like, man, we made it through COVID. We didn't have that much issue. We're so grateful. Let's help other people out. Not everybody's fortunate like us. Yeah. So with COVID, this is how it came about. We got together. Like, we're just in the chat and each other. Like, man, we came out this really good, and let's find a way to be able to help other people that are still struggling. And that's how we created Sunflower Love and helping the community.
I love that. Lon was saying sunflower means hope, right? Mm-hmm. That's so lovely. Seriously, wow, amazing. So where do you see yourself now? How has it been for you in this current season?
Current season it's good. It's good. Shop has gotten a lot busier.
Great.
Before I was like, I want to open multiple locations, open this multiple shops, and I really want to do that. And my mom was like, this one time me and mom didn't bump heads, but she was like, son, you had the shop for about 5 years now. You're pretty much, you can come and go as you want to. The staff is really good. And you have your freedom to do whatever you want. Do you want to open another location, 2 or 3, and restart that whole stress again of finding staff, running another shop and stuff like that? I'm like, you're right, Mom. I agree. I was able to get a food truck recently. So that's not having another location. I can take it out when I want to.
Transient.
Whenever I want to. Yeah. So it's been really good. It's just having that food truck, the truck, and able to do stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell me, are your parents, are they more supportive now?
So they'll never come out and say it like you did a good job. They won't come out and say it, but they are. They only live one exit up. from here. So
Okay.
when I first opened the shop, they're always popping in. You doing okay? You doing okay? Do you need help? You know, like we're good. We're good. We're good. But they're very supportive. They'll bring their friends over and have dinner at the shop.
That's awesome.
She'll talk to her friends about me and my brother all the time.
Yeah.
A couple of my mom has a nail salon, so a couple of her clients will come by and say, "Your mom's very proud of you" and stuff like that. So we'll feel here for the friend, but not by my mom. You know, she's still.
Yes.
She's parents will always worry, and one of the things I didn't realize till I get till to get older, but my friend said my friend told me one day, you don't know your worth to your parents, and I was like, that really struck. Because you're like, Mom, why are you worrying so much? Why this? Like, stop bothering me. Stop. You know, it's like, but you don't know your worth to them. You're their gem. You're their pride and joy. Yeah. So that's why they constantly worry. And I finally got to say, like, Mom, you want to go ahead and worry, Mom? It's okay. It's like, just do what you have to do. You know, before I get frustrated, like, why? But I finally understand that. Yeah, you don't know your worth to your parents. So you're the diamond. So that's why they do worry.
Very true. Very true. You're priceless.
Yeah. But you don't see that. You know, you're just like moving on. Like, why? Why are you worried? Like, you're priceless them.
Yeah. So to just respect and honor your time.
Oh, no.
Is there anything else that you want to share with us? Maybe a story or two or an experience?
Yeah, like some of these I wrote down, like trip to Vietnam. Really opened my eyes. How good we have it here. I was walking down the street one morning and walked by school, a whole bunch of kids were playing, and walked down another street, and this one girl, she's a little handicapped, she was limping, and she's selling lottery cards. That's how they make money there. I'm just like, feel like, man, if you don't have money, you can't go to school. And we're so blessed to be able to have free education here. And we took a lot of stuff for granted. Yeah. And those kind of trips really humbles me. Yeah. I have a son, an adopted son, that he was very angry, didn't appreciate stuff until he got a job on a cruise ship in Spain. And he went on there and he's seeing like these people working for $4 an hour, doing hard stuff. And he has it good. He's just running cable wires and making good money. He came back, he changed. And so I think like these trips to outside the United States to see how people live and stuff makes you humble. Yeah. I think makes you appreciate stuff here.
It really changes your perspective.
It does.
Your mindset, right?
Mm-hmm. So he came back more calm, more relaxed, and like more appreciative and like gung ho to work.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. For the last few years, who would you say, I mean, you mentioned your parents, but who would you say was your support system? Who helped you through the highs and the lows?
Friends, yeah. Friends call. We have a good set of friends that will call and just check on each other. We got one cook for somebody got sick, we'll cook for each other. So we're a very good set of friends. And then my staff too. I treat them like family. Sometimes we act like family, we bump heads, but they are so supportive. If I need them to do something, they always go out of the ways. Then we come into the shop when they're not working. They're like, all my friends at the shop working. I just come in and hang out and come help. So it's just friends and family, and my staff's been really supportive. Without them, I wouldn't be able to make it, and it makes my life a lot easier. Yeah,
yeah, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's beautiful that you have that, because not everyone can say this.
Yes, yeah,
and that's beautiful.
I've gone seen other friends' restaurant, and it's not quite as joyful. Like people, my staff sit there and laugh. We have fun, and that rolls over to the customer service. We're having fun, we're enjoying it, and the customer comes in, they can see the joy. Like, hey, how you doing? Do you enjoy that? What can we get for you? And then the customer can feel it. Yeah. And that's why I try to preach to them, treat them like family too as well. Yeah. And I'm always giving away free stuff. They're like, we just made a whole batch of the fried banana, you just give it away because I want to, because of these.
I love that.
Sometimes you hear the story like, we just stories you hear from me from like, let me just give you some free fried banana.
You know what? Food, it can speak to people.
It does. It does.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like food in so many cultures is the center of the culture. You bond, you connect.
Yeah.
Have joy, like you said.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If food connects, and then like some customers, like they're little kids, they're like 5 years. We just got done a recital and we asked her where she want to go. She said, Bahn Mi Brothers. I'm like, oh, that melts my heart. I was like, and then that's when I brought 5 bananas out, and they wrote me a card and sent it to me. I'm like, this is the reason why I'm doing this. And it's just like, oh, they wrote me a card to say thank you, and I made their day. And I'm like, stuff like that is
it worth it?
It does. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, before we end, is there anything else that you wanted to share before we finish up?
We just have to hang out and talk some more next time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate it. This was really good.